Thank you very much. Good morning, Prime Minister, of course, of Niger, dear ministers, and of course, my old and good friend, Lassina. Thank you for those kind words. And let me congratulate you and all those who have been participating in this great effort, which is NEISA, which is this Nuclear Energy Innovation Summit for Africa here in Kigali. The introductory remarks that you heard from Mr. Poneman laid out a number of points which I am sure are going to be developed in the course of the day. Why nuclear? Why nuclear now? What are the advantages? What are the challenges that we are having? From the perspective of the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the added value that we want to bring to this discussion is to be the real enablers of many of the things that are going to happen and are already happening here in Africa. There is a global trend, and I think it's been mentioned already, but I would like to stop for a minute there and elaborate on that. There is a global trend which is caused by a number of factors, ranging from climate change to economic development to the new debates about energy security. We were never referring to something as energy security and in the past, but in an unfortunately increasingly fragmented world, countries are looking for solutions that will provide predictability, that will provide the elements for growth that we all need and we all aspire, and in particular here in Africa. And there is no reason why Africa should not be part of this trend that is picking up in the world. At the Conference of the Parties of the Climate Change Convention in Dubai 2 years ago, there was what I would define as a watershed moment when all countries realized that we all need nuclear. It doesn't mean that every country is going to have nuclear, but it simply means that we are not going to move into a global economy which is gradually decarbonized and is efficient without the contribution of nuclear energy. And technology, because at the end of the day, this is an activity that is technology-driven, technology is providing us with solutions. Technology is providing us with new alternatives that heretofore we did not have. And this is why there is so much anticipation, there is so much excitement in the world and in particular in Africa through the emergence of technologies like small modular reactors. And of course, traditional nuclear as well, and micro reactors. All of these technologies that, of course, have the advantage of the mobility, the flexibility, as it is known, and of course, the affordability, why not say it, at the end of the day, it is also about the feasibility of something, the ability of your countries, everybody to pay for this. It is important to see that we have this incredible alternative. The contribution of the IAEA is not the advocacy as well, but there are many that are going to be developing this. What you need is infrastructure. What you need is capacity building, the ability to train your experts, the ability to have them and to be up to speed to host these nuclear reactors in time and in the best possible way. And of course, very, very importantly, the safety and the security of these operations. Many people, and it will happen to you when you go into the concrete phases of developing your own national programs, there will be questions about the safety, there are issues about the images of past accidents and so on and so forth. So this is why it is so important and why we are here with you and will be here with you hand in hand, accompanying Africa in its journey into nuclear energy, so that everything that happens has a very strong regulatory ingredient, without which this activity would be extremely extremely difficult to bring to fruition. So this is why we see this activity, and the IAEA is working with many of your countries. Of course, Rwanda is a case in point. My dear Edouard, Prime Minister, we have been talking about this, of course, with Lassina. I'm going to be discussing this later with the President, and we have been doing this, of course, in Niger, but also in Algeria, in Morocco, in Tunisia, in Egypt, which is building its first set of big nuclear power plants, which is going to start to be operational in a couple of years. But we talk also about Sudan. We talk also about Congo, DRC Congo. We talk about, of course, Namibia, South Africa, which has, or until today, is the only country in the continent that has a nuclear energy program and has finally decided to increase its capacity. So whenever I look at Ghana, Senegal, Kenya, in all of these countries, the IAEA is already preparing the workforce, is already working with the regulators. And importantly, there is this issue of the financing, which Lassina mentioned just now, and also I think in the words of Mr. Poneman. For many, many years, financing in nuclear was out of the question for a variety of reasons, none of which was, in our opinion, neither scientifically nor technically justifiable. But the reality was that there was a limitation, a restriction. So countries could not turn to international finance institutions, and this is, I think, so essential for developing nations like here in Africa, or where I come from, in Latin America and the Caribbean, or in some parts, in vast parts of Asia. So it was about a singular relationship between vendor and countries that have, as we all know, so many competing priorities in terms of economy and health and education and so many other things. So this is why what happened in Paris just a few days ago is so historical. And I'm not mincing my words here. It's historical because for the first time, the mother of all the development banks, which is the World Bank, decided to put a stop to this. And after a long work of preparation, understanding, mutual education, I would say, between our experts and those from the World Bank, we signed an agreement which, in my opinion, not only is going to allow you to turn to the World Bank, but also, and very importantly, and this is the next step, we are going to be working with regional development banks. There is no reason why, when the World Bank has said goodbye to the old resistance and reluctances of the past, that the African Development Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, with whom we have been working, do not also open their doors to those of you who are going to be investing in nuclear in the next few years. The road, of course, will have to be populated with concrete things, concrete activities that we are going to be carrying out together with you. This is why the IAEA is there. The IAEA is, and it's the first thing in the statute I swore upon when I became Director General, is to promote the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. So this is why, in spite of all these difficulties that we are having, in spite of all the tensions that we see in the world, the wars that may exist, the conflicts that they exist are elsewhere in the world, are not solving a single one of the problems you have here in Africa. And on the contrary, perhaps they are aggravating it. So this is why we have to be here. I had to be here working with you. And for those who have not started their partnership with the IAEA, we are here for that. Our teams are here for that. And for those who have already started, be assured that we will be with you every step of the way, because there is no reason that Africa does not benefit from this, which is also helping and fueling the growth of the economies all over the world. Thank you very much.